What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the AK Show with your boy AK the Ref, episode 23. How is everybody doing on this Friday? I hope everybody had a wonderful week so far. Yes, we're here on a Friday instead of a Wednesday, but it is what it is. Had to change some things around, but we are here. That means you have made it to the weekend. So give yourself a big round of applause for making it to the weekend. Congratulations, you are here. Finish your work week strong, and you're to the weekend and go do some fun things. Well, applause. Thank you very much. We are here on a Friday. Had to change some things around because I had to go back to work this week being a school teacher. I'm in a new district this year, so I had to go do some new teacher orientation stuff this week and go up to my school too and take a look at my PE closet, see what equipment I have and things like that. So had to change some things around, have to find new recording times and whatnot since I'm being full time this year. So I think I'm gonna have to start waking up in the morning before I go to work on days to record the AK Show podcast. But we here right now. It's a Friday morning, so by the time you listen to this, by the time this will be released, it'll be Friday evening later today because I'm gonna record this and then go to work and then come back, edit it, and upload it to the YouTube channel. So when you're listening to this, I hope you've had a wonderful Friday and hope your evening is awesome. But we are here. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on the YouTube. Don't forget to like it. Don't forget to share it. I really do appreciate it. I mean, we're trickling up slowly in subscribers. I think the last time I looked, it was at 149. So we're slowly ticking up. I do appreciate it. I appreciate the views. I appreciate everything. But today's episode, I want to get into some of these NFL contracts that just got recently made for quarterbacks. Two in particular, Tua Tagovailoa, Tagovailoa, and Jordan Love. But before we get into that, it's Olympics. I don't know if you've been watching the Olympics, but I've been watching it. I mean, I've been watching gymnastics mostly and swimming because dumb boy. I watched last night. Last night was the all around final, and we had Simone Biles and Suni Lee in the all around final, and watched that. And Simone Biles is fucking amazing at what she does, like legit. Like at her age, at 27, being able to do what she does, especially on the floor routine when she does her first pass, that shit is amazing. And she did that. She was on the floor routine last night on the all around final, and she did that first pass, and she didn't stick the landing. She had a little bit of a hop, but she stayed in bounds. It looked clean. She was smiling like, "Yeah, I got this." Because at the moment when she went into the her final routine on the floor, she was in. I think she was in. She had to have a good score to take the lead over the Brazilian girl, and then so at that time the Brazilian uh, lady was in first, and Suna Lee was in second. But Simone Biles had to still do her routine, so she had a great score. I think, damn, she had a big score, didn't she? For that, because she didn't step out of bounds, she didn't have no falls, no mishaps, and she had a big score. And then she got first, and Suni Lee got the bronze. So we got two Americans taking home medals for the all around, and they both won the gold before, or they've both won medals in the all around previously. So that was good for them. That was an exciting moment. And Suni Lee, like when heard the stories about her having the kidney disease or infection, and it made her like swollen and things, and she didn't know she was gonna continue doing gymnastics, and then she pushed through and got everything, and she's a joy to watch because she is just like out there having fun and smiling, and just she is just like joyful to be out there. And so I'm happy for her that she was able to overcome everything she did and be able to place on the podium in the all around. So congratulations to Simone Biles and Suni Lee. Is really fucking awesome. And congratulations to Team USA for the team. They won team gold too, so that's what's up. And they still got more gymnastics, I think, in like individual events. So we get to see more of Simone Biles and Suni Lee and Jordan Childs. So let's get it. And then you got to take a moment to absolutely not get off of there. You know what? I'll cover that up with a little marker, so I ain't worried about it. I got a little battery symbol right there on the camera because it's getting low. Can it just go off? I'll cover it up with the logo. It's fine. But if you ain't been watching swimming, I don't know what you've been doing. What was it, 2 nights ago at Ledecky? The 1500. That's amazing. That's amazing. She's a goat. There's multiple goats in the Olympics in their sport, and she is one in her sport, and maybe one just entirely as an athlete in the Olympics, along with the likes of Simone Biles and things like that, and Michael Phelps from way back when before he retired. But she sat here and swam this 1500 meters, which is basically almost a mile. When I googled it, I was like, how much is this in like terms of miles? It's like 0.93. Like shit's almost a mile. She did in like 15 something minutes, and she lapped the competition. I was like, it's not even fun. Just, I mean, hell, come on now, that's amazing. I'm like, I'm wondering like how you do that. How you swim for 15 minutes straight? Like, I get tired just swimming one lap, just down. And swimming is tiring. I'm telling you, but that's amazing what she did. And then we watched her last night. She was in the 4x2. And she was the third, and she was able to help her team get at least the silver because they wanted her to get a silver because that was going to be her 13th medal in swimming in the Olympics. And then she still has a chance to go for a 14th. I think she has a race tomorrow for semifinals. I forgot what it is. I don't know. It might be the 200, 400. One of those. Tomorrow's the semifinal, or actually today. I'm not tomorrow, but today. And then if she qualifies, she goes to the finals tomorrow, or something like that. It's one of those two, or maybe that might have been the men. I'm getting confused. It's a lot to keep track of in the Olympics. I mean, really, I've only like watched whatever they show on prime time. Usually, it's usually swimming and gymnastics. I mean, but I've took a look at the other stuff. The rugby finish for Team USA to get the bronze. That shit was amazing. That shit was amazing. Like they were showing the last like the other team scored and USA needed to score to tie the game and then basically kick the extra point. I don't know how they let that girl go, but she got in the open field. She was gone. I was like, they had her and then they let her go. I was like, that was amazing because they showed the finish. We were watching highlights and they showed the finish. I was like, that was fucking amazing. Like, there's been some amazing stuff happening in the Olympics. If you ain't been keeping track, I don't know what you're doing. But I'm ready to watch some track and field. I'm ready. You know, the 100, the men and women's 100, the 200, the 400. You know, the 4x4, the 4x2. There's a 4x1, right? I'm ready for relays, straight races. Let's go. I can't wait to see that stuff. I'm ready to see what the 16-year-old does. So let's get it. You know, basketball's doing what basketball's doing. You know, I haven't been able to watch. I haven't watched much basketball, but when they get to like the semifinals, hopefully Team USA makes it for the men's and the women's. When they get to that, I'll start paying more attention to it. I mean, I haven't watched it. I've seen the highlights and things like that from both teams. But like I said, there's a lot of shit to keep up in the Olympics. It's hard to watch. So yeah, but I'm gonna watch some more tonight. Watch SummerSlam tomorrow. Yeah, I'm excited for that. SummerSlam, Cleveland tomorrow. I'm excited to watch that. I might, I might do a SummerSlam preview. We'll see. We'll see. I might do one. Just get my thoughts on it. But let's get it. So let's get into it. I don't have a lot of time because I still got to get to work today. So I ain't gonna keep you too long. But in today's episode, if you didn't hear, I think it was in the last week that a couple quarterbacks got some new deals. So I want to talk about this. I know I've talked about it before, but then it keeps happening, and I'm just like, why? Why? Like, why are we doing this? So if you didn't hear, Tua Tagovailoa got a new contract. Let me pull it up. He got a new contract. Jordan Love got a new contract, right? So contract extensions, whatever you want to call it, basically a new contract. So Tua's contract is a $212 million extension with 4-year, 212, with I believe, what was it 167 guaranteed. So that puts him at 53 million per year. And then we have Jordan Love's contract, which put him let me see. I should have had this looked up before, but I had it right here. Here we go. 220 million, including a 75 million signing bonus, with let me get that 160 guaranteed, putting him. What does that put him at? An average 55 billion. Oh, see here's the deal with this, right? So you got Tua being a top earner now as a quarterback, making 53 million per year, and you got Jordan Love making 55. What are we doing here? Like, seriously. Here's the thing. Tua has 0 playoff wins. Okay? Jordan Love, granted, he got his team to the NFC Championship game, but he didn't start playing good until the end of this past season. What about all his other seasons prior to that? He wasn't playing good. Nobody thought he was going to be what he was at the end of this past season into the playoffs. Nobody thought that watching him. They're like, oh my God, this Jordan Love cat's not, he's not it. This is what they replaced Aaron Rodgers with. Like, I'm not taking away what he did the end of this past season and into the playoffs and getting his team to the NFC Championship game, because that's big. Or was it the NFC Championship? He got him deep into the playoffs. I thought it was the NFC Championship game, right? Right? We gotta see this, right? But he took his team deep into the playoffs. But what about all the other seasons before that, and all the, I guess, all the past games before he started playing well? Because it started after the Chiefs game, and I would know that because we lost that game, right? Yeah, they lost. No, they weren't in the NFC Championship game. They're in the divisional round before that game, and they had a chance to win. But yeah, he took me to the divisional round. My mistake. It was the Lions and 49ers in the NFC Championship game. But still, you got your team deep in the playoffs. You took them on a run. You finished strong at the end of the season. You made a run in the playoffs, and you had a chance. I really thought they should have won that game, but he tried to force the ball, and that's just like, that comes with experience and things like that. But I don't. There was no need for Green Bay to sign him, really, to an extension. I would have, like, okay, let's see if you do it again a whole season and then into the playoffs. Because leading up towards the end of the season, up into the playoffs, before that, like, he wasn't like playing like well. He wasn't doing things that we saw him doing in the playoffs and towards the end of the regular season. So it's like, now you're paying him. You're gonna pay him all this money, give him his contract extension, and I get it. Like, you just want to pay him and get it over with. But at the same time, what if it turns out he's not that guy and he just went on a run? It's got to be consistent. Why you should have just if I was Green Bay, I would have just waited until the end of this season to see. Okay, let's see you do it again. You did it for part of the towards the end of the regular season. You did it in the playoffs. Okay, let's see you put it together for a full season and into the playoffs, and then we'll talk. And I get it. They want their guy. They want to have their guy locked up. They don't want him freaking going to like what do you call it, free agency, and then it's a bidding war if he does have a great season. I get that, but at the same time, you don't know if he's that guy. I'm sorry, I'm not going to base that off of the end of the regular season and the playoffs to determine that's the guy. I want to see some consistency. Like this was your first playoff wins, and then all of a sudden you just get $220 million contract, making you $55 million per year, 160 guaranteed. That's the problem. It's like you're paying this guy, you don't know. You really don't. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna base that off what he did and into the playoffs. I want to say you, you should have been like, hey, we'll talk after this upcoming season. We want to see what you do. And then if he comes in there and it's consistent, they have a deep playoff run, then maybe, okay, that might be your guy. That might be your guy. And the same thing with Tua. Now we switch over to Tua. He's getting the 200 something. Now he's making $53 million. He's making 53, $212 million contract. With how much was that guaranteed? 167 guaranteed. So that puts him at like 53 million per year. And Tua ain't got but zero playoff wins. Yeah, he plays well during the regular season, but then there's times he gets hurt. I feel like towards the end of the season he starts to fall off a little bit, and then he came in here for the playoff game against the Chiefs, and you saw how that happened. So they paid him, and his coach Mike McDaniels wanted that's his ride or die. He's betting on Tua. I wouldn't bet on Tua. No, I can tell you that. I would let him play out that, and I'll just go build up my roster, and then maybe the next year in the draft, after this upcoming season, draft a rookie and move on from Tua, because now you stuck. You stuck with Tua, who I don't think is it. I mean, he's a good player. He's a serviceable, good quarterback. He's gonna put up some numbers because he's got Waddle, he's got Hill, he's got a good running game. But at the end of the day, is he gonna take you where you want to go in the playoffs to get to the championship game, to get to the Super Bowl? I don't think so. And I'm being honest, like I wouldn't pay Tua. I wouldn't pay Jordan Love. I would have at least. I think Jordan Love probably a better quarterback than Tua, but I would have waited till Jordan Love can show me like, okay, let's see what you do for this full season. I need the consistency, right? And then we'll see what you do in the playoffs, and then we'll talk contract. Tua, I wouldn't have gave a contract to right now at all. I don't think he's it. Jordan Love, I wouldn't have gave it to. I have to see more to see. Then we'll talk contract. Because what if Jordan Love comes in the season and just it's not that great? Then it's like, oh boy, he showed promise and we gave him a contract. Now he's regressing or he's not taking that next step forward. Or it's the same thing where he starts playing well towards the end of the regular season, and now they're still fighting for a playoff spot or whatever. I gotta see you put it together for a full season. You're playing well, you're doing the things that you need to do, you're making the correct reads, you're being a leader. 2 minutes left, you got to go out there and get us in field goal range or get us a touchdown. I need to see those type of things, not just the back half, the last month of the season or whatever, and into the playoff. I need to see that consistency before I give you a contract that size, make you the highest paid, $55 million, and all you got is like a month or two of good play. If that's all it takes, sign me up. I'm telling you. And then Tua, I mean, he's been consistent. I think when we get towards the end of the season, it drops off a little bit. And I know there was a few seasons where he got hurt. The one season he got hurt with the concussion and whatnot and staying healthy, but Tua ain't it. I'm sorry. I mean, he's a decent quarterback. He's a decent quarterback in my opinion, but he ain't that guy. I'm sorry. I mean, I choose five other quarterbacks over him in the AFC. I mean, I would choose obviously Mahomes, choose Josh Allen, Burrow, Stroud, Lamar Jackson. Who else is in the AFC? I'd probably choose those five before I even think about Tua. I mean, because you got Denver, there's nobody. Justin Herbert. I mean, he ain't really done nothing, but see, that's the problem I have with this. The quarterbacks and them just getting paid because they're decent. Like, that ain't gonna take you where you want to go. That ain't gonna get you over the hump with Mahomes, especially in the AFC. And the NFC is different. Like, who in the NFC is the top dog quarterback? Really? I feel like the top quarterbacks are in the AFC. Who's the top quarterback in the NFC? Like, who's that guy? Because like I said, AFC you got Mahomes, you got Burrow, you got Allen, you got Jackson, you got C.J. Stroud, you do got Justin Herbert, you got Tua. I'm not saying Tua is not good. I'm just saying he's not that guy. I mean, who else you got? We don't know what Anthony Richardson is going to be. You don't really have anybody on the Patriots. Jaguars, you got Trevor Lawrence. Uh, San Diego, you ain't got nothing in the Raiders right now. You ain't got nothing. We don't know what we got in Denver. Um, I'm not going to Deshaun Watson. That ship is fucking sailed. Pittsburgh. I mean, now you got over there. You got Russ and what's his name? Oh boy, it's gonna be something else in there. But yeah, I mean, I named like 8 quarterbacks. The AFC is stacked with quarterbacks. I mean, who we have in the NFC, right? I mean, you got Purdy. I guess you put Jordan Love. Jared Goff. You could put Matthew Stafford. I mean, you got Kyle Murray, but I'm not high on Kyle Murray. Just he's got the physical tools. I just doesn't have the mental. People say Dak. I don't even know who you have in Atlanta. I mean, yeah, you got Kirk Cousins, but Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins. He's not going to take you to the promised land. In the Bears, they just drafted Caleb Williams, so we don't know what that is. Uh, Minnesota, I don't even, to be honest, I don't know who they have. I know what Green Bay has in Chicago and Detroit. Detroit's got Goff. Green Bay's got Jordan Love, and then you got the Giants. You got Philly Hurts. You got the Giants. Daniel Jones. I know. I'm not sure who the Saints and Carolina Panthers have quarterback wise, but you see where I'm getting at. I feel like the top quarterbacks are in the AFC, right? So I feel like the NFC in terms of like quarterback play is not as elite, and it gives you more of a shot to get to the Super Bowl and things like that. But it's just is getting out of hand with these quarterback contracts. It's like you're paying guys for just being decent. And I get it. It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like if you don't sign the guy, then everybody's up in arms. Like, why are you just gonna let that quarterback walk? Like you need a quarterback. Well, yeah, I need a quarterback, but I want one that I think is gonna take me there. I feel like they're just paying these guys because they have to, and I think that's where you get in trouble. Don't pay this guy because public pressure. That's not how you build a team. You literally got to look at the guy. You really got to sit here and ask yourself: is Tua going to take me to the AFC Championship game, to the Super Bowl? Is he going to get me over the hump? If you struggle to answer that question, you need to move on. Same with Jordan Love. It's not even Jordan Love. I don't think he's not that. I want to see it more consistency. I have more of a body of work with Tua playing, and it's like, no, that's not the guy. And then, yeah, we have some of Jordan Love, but he started finally putting together. Okay, Let me see it again for this season, and then we'll talk. And I'm okay. Like, if you want to pay Tua, but there's no way he should be making $53 million a year. That is not even you're paying them. It's that I feel like they're being overpaid for like decent play. Like Tua's not Mahomes. Tua's not Burrow. Tua's not Allen. Tua's not Lamar Jackson. I like CJ Stroud, but he's only had 1 year, but he played well the entire season. I don't even think he's CJ. I think CJ Stroud's better than Tua. And like I said, I put Lamar Jackson on the list. I just want to pay Lamar Jackson that much money. I don't think he's going to get you over the hump. I mean, it's okay, like, you want to pay these guys, but there has to be some type of. There's going to be a time when one of these owners, because they just keep going up. The quarterback contracts just keep going up. The next one that's going to sign is going to probably be making $57 million per year. Because Jordan Love got 220. The next quarterback is going to get like 250 with like 180 guaranteed, putting him up at like 57, 58 million. And then the next one after that is going to be like at 60 million overall yearly salary. And it's just going to get out of hand. And it's going to happen at one point. The owner and GM are going to be like, no, we're not paying you that much. What have you done for us to pay you that much? And it would just be a ripple effect. It would just take one owner, one team, one GM to sit and be like, no. Then I'm saying, no, fine, we'll go draft a rookie and we'll go spend that money to build a solid fucking team, offensive, defense, position-wise, and we'll go get a good rookie quarterback like the 49ers have done with Purdy. I mean, eventually Purdy's going to have to be paid, but there's no way Purdy should be making like $55 million per year. He should be top pay. But they built a team around him and they're using him off his rookie contract. I mean, you're going to start seeing more of that if these contracts keep getting out of hand with the quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Is eventually it's going to take one team to be like, no, we'll move on in a different direction. We'll let you go, or we'll franchise tag you and try to trade you. And if that they we'll let you go, we'll draft a rookie quarterback. If we have to move up to draft one, we will, and we'll spend this money to get some offensive line, get some defensive line, get a wide receiver, spend the money to build a team, and we'll bring in a rookie quarterback or get a solid veteran at a better price than overpaying for basically a quarterback to do the same thing he's been doing his whole career, and you're not moving up anywhere. At least you can say with Brock Purdy, he's been to the Super Bowl. He probably would have been to 2 Super Bowls had he not got hurt the season prior, where he messed up his arm and he couldn't even throw the ball no more. So, and they built a good team around him. I mean, you're going to start seeing more of that if these contracts keep getting out of hand like this. And there's a lot of quarterbacks I wouldn't pay like money like that. I mean, I'd probably say Burrow because he's been to a Super Bowl, but last year he got hurt. He can't really stay healthy. It's just finding like a point to where it's like, these people are getting overly paid, and it's starting to get out of hand. And I think in the next few years, one team is just going to be like, no, we'll move in this direction, and the other teams will see it and be like, they'll see it and be like, oh, that's a big mistake. But then they'll see the team have success with it, and then they'll follow suit and be like, wait, we could have done that too. We didn't have to overpay. And that's what's happening with these quarterback contracts. They just keep getting out of hand, and your quarterback's not going to take you anywhere. And it's like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Like, do we believe in this guy? Because I feel like they're just paying these people just because they have to. Otherwise, there'll be uproar from the fans, from the media. Is like, how could you not pay him that money to keep him and let him walk? And what are you doing? This is why your team never go anywhere. Your team never going to go anywhere if you keep overpaying quarterbacks and you can't build anything around them. And then you got to rely heavily on the draft. And then it's like, okay, well, we're stuck. We paid him and we're stuck with him. maybe we can get out of the contract in 3 years, but that's 3 years and all that money. Then you basically got to start all over. So you better hope that's the guy. That's your guy. I don't think Tua is. I don't know about Jordan Love. We have to see. I need more consistency because we know up before he started playing well at the end of last season, Jordan Love wasn't that guy. He just came on. So let's see if he can keep it together. Tua is not that guy. So it is what it is. And you see Mahomes is not even making what Tua in per year in Jordan Love are making, other quarterbacks are making. And they even asked Mahomes that about out of that training camp. He's like, I'm fine. Of course he's fine. He's how many fucking endorsement deals he has? You think he's worried about how much a year he makes through his NFL contract? No. Why? Because he wants to win. He doesn't care. He's gonna make plenty of money. Like all the endorsement deals he has, he doesn't care about being the highest paid contract wise. He's got other sources of income. He wants to win. So he'll take some less money so they can go and sign some other guys like Chris Jones because after this season they're gonna have to sign some people. They have to make decisions on Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, McDuffie. I think even George Karlaftis. So having that extra money is great because now you can go sign some guys and you know you're gonna lose some guys. So it's always okay. These are the players we want to keep, but then these are the players we're gonna have to replace. So we have to have a good draft. Maybe find one of those diamond in the roughs. Get a maybe a cheap veteran option that could come in as a stopgap or whatever, and things like that. So we'll see. But that's why Mahomes takes the contract that he did. He's like, it still pays him. It's still a lot of fucking money. And it allows the team to go out and sign other important pieces to keep or go into free agents and sign somebody. And then yes, they have to draft well and get some good guys coming in as rookies to come in and play and be like the next player for the next 4 years of the rookie contract. So that's what it is. But these quarterback contracts, I can just see in the future one team. That's all it's going to take is one team just be like, no, we're not paying you this much. We'll pay you this much and this much guaranteed. You want this? You ain't getting it from here. And that's all it's going to take. And then other teams will see that and they'll take a wait and see approach and see, oh, that team drafts a rookie quarterback because they didn't want to pay their quarterback this exuberant amount of money. And then they see it works. And then other teams will be like, well, we got a quarterback coming up on contract. You know what? We'll do that. It's like, no, we'll offer you this. If you don't want to take this, goodbye. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take one team and seeing them have success with that, and be like, and then if quarterbacks aren't getting paid, like, high name ones, and then eventually they'll be like, oh shit, they're not paying us what we want. I guess we got to take what they're willing to offer. I mean, it's still going to be a good price. You're still going to be in that $100 million range, but unless you're elite, you should be making more than Patrick Mahomes. Why? You haven't done anything. The boys won back-to-back Super Bowls. Like literally, I was at orientation yesterday for work, and there was one. We had one keynote speaker speaking about like information. Like, do you know who this person is? Who's the last 5 Super Bowl MVPs? I was like, Mahomes. And then it was the Rams and in the what team was that? It was the Rams and the Bengals, and then my principal sitting next to me, and we were like, was it Stafford or Cup? And he was like, it was Cup, and then we went, it was Brady and then Mahomes. Out of the last 5 Super Bowls, Mahomes has been in the 4 of them. All right? Because it was Mahomes. They went back to back. The year after they lost to the Patriots, they went back to back because they beat the 49ers the first time. They went back again the second year against Tom Brady when he was with the Bucks. They lost, and then they lost in the AFC Championship game against the Bengals. But then they went back to back. So out of the last 5 Super Bowls, Mahomes has been to fucking 4, and he's won 3. Has 3 MVPs. That's the difference. Out of the last 5 Super Bowls, Mahomes has been to 4 of them in the last 5. Let that sink in. Let that sink in before you start paying guys like this type of money, like Tua, even Lamar Jackson, even Josh Allen, and Jordan Love. And stop before you pay Purdy. Which, like I said, I think the NFC quarterbacks have a better chance of getting to the Super Bowl because they don't have to go through the Chiefs and Mahomes to get there. So it's different on that side. On the AFC side, you really got to have that guy. You got to have that team. And that's all I got on it. That's all I got on it. But that's all I got for today. But we'll be back next week. I might have an episode. I might do a SummerSlam preview. I might have to wake up tomorrow morning and do one. Just literally the preview is like what matches I'm looking forward to and who I think is gonna win each match. That's all that would be. But thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. I gotta get on to work. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Comment on what you think of what you think of Tua and Jordan Love's contract. Do you think the team should have paid them what they paid them? Give them that type of contract, or should have been something less, or should have paid them at all? Comment that in there, share it. I really do appreciate you. And until next time, enjoy your weekend, enjoy the rest of your Friday. I'm out. Peace. Let's get it. All right, I gotta get to work. Let me turn this thing off. All right, here we go.